What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel here on YouTube. If you don't know me, my name is Sonia. Welcome. Subscribe to my channel, by the way, if you haven't already. I love everything luxury beauty, and today we're going to be looking at some of my luxury beauty that I'm using for a natural day look. This video is actually in collaboration, or at least in some sort of sponsorship, with the Online Makeup Academy. Thank you, Online Makeup Academy, for at least getting to know me and wanting to collab with me on this. Online Makeup Academy actually reached out to me and they asked me if I was interested in trying to do a course for them. Since I started YouTube, I've always been a little bit insecure regarding my makeup application and just makeup in general. I'm definitely somewhat of a hobbyist and I love reviewing makeup, but honestly, I don't really know any of the actual theory of makeup other than what I've seen in reviews or whatnot. So the Online Makeup Academy, for those of you that don't know, is actually, like it says, an online makeup academy. And from what I understand by doing the course a little bit, is that they did start out as a normal makeup school, but then kind of branched out after COVID because, you know, they still wanted to provide their services, and they kind of spread out to the online virtual world. Now they're looking for a great way to combine virtual class and also giving that same interaction and that one-on-one care with their students. When you start your course, you actually get an individual little message sent to you. I'll put a little bit of my message on the screen here.
Hi Sonia, welcome to Online Makeup Academy. My name is Alona and I'm a tutor here. So I'll be seeing your work, your progress.
This gives me a lifetime access to the course. There's no deadline for me to finish this course, so I can take as long as I need to do this course. I've only finished one full module and I'm doing another module right now where I actually have a homework assignment to hand in. So after this, I still need to go from this look all the way to a night look. I hand in my homework at some type of platform and I actually do get criticized and feedback on the makeup looks that I did, my application, and maybe what I can do better. So they're really trying to promote that one-on-one interactivity, and if you have any questions, you can actually ask questions all the time and you get feedback so fast. It's so nice to have this as someone that is, you know, a mom and has a job, and I really wanted to always do a makeup course and I didn't really know how to even start. So this is really great for me and it really fits into my lifestyle. Also, just like any other makeup school, they do have some benefit partners. Some big ones are actually Makeup Forever or Anastasia Beverly Hills, Beauty Blender, NYX, Inglot. So these are some of the main brands that they do collab with, and a 40% discount. Yeah, it sounds, you know, too good to be true, but honestly it's amazing because when you actually start as a makeup artist, you actually need more makeup. You actually have to invest in a proper makeup bag. Another thing that I really like about this course is that they do go into different skin tones and skin types, the theory of color, and if you have acne prone skin, and how to build your kit, how to sanitize, and what you need for how many types of foundations you need, what type of kit you need. Like they really go all into it, all the way onto like COVID and the guidelines regarding COVID. And you have quizzes at some of the end of the modules, but you also sometimes have to hand in homework. And this look that I'm doing today is part of my homework look. And at some point when you go out into the world, after you get your certificate, because you do get a certificate at the end of this, you can maybe already have some portfolio ready for someone to see your talent. Of course, they are very realistic with this course, and they're really promoting this is just a stepping stone. This is for you to know how to start, how to dress, how to act, and how to be sanitary. But they really stress that in the real life, in real world, you first need to do networking and you need to get yourself known. You need to get your Instagram or your website ready. They're really trying to prep you all the way to become a makeup professional. Like I said, at the end of this, I am gonna get a certificate and I'm really trying to go for it. Like, I really wanna finish this course. But I'm so interested to hear from you guys, what you guys think of the actual steps and the final look. Like I said, it's not gonna be the full-on tutorial. I'm gonna kind of speed through it. I don't want this video to be too long, but this is kind of something that I learned in this module, and it should be my everyday makeup look, so a very wearable look. I also used my own makeup for this because normally you do get a little kit when you start, but I of course didn't get the kit because this is a collaboration, but normally you do get a kit, and especially when you do FFX, oh my god, or you do hair, you're probably gonna need that kit because they're gonna reference some of the products and you really need to follow them step by step to really get the theory down. I try to follow the steps as much as possible with the makeup that I have, and this way you can also see the makeup demoed on my face and you can see how well they wear. Before we start, I do have a coupon code for you guys. So this is the course that I am following right now. This is the Makeup Master course, and this is the price for it. It is quite pricey, but most makeup courses are pretty pricey, and like I said, there are some benefits such as the 40% discount and the one-on-one time with your tutors, and you can do it on a lifetime basis. So there's never a deadline. You have access to this for an entire lifetime. So please keep that in mind. My coupon code is for a $100 discount, and it's Sonia Butler $100 off. Anyway, I think I got all of the talking points out of the way. Let's start with my makeup. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prep my face with skincare, and then I'm gonna go in with a primer. The primer that I'm using today is the Rare Beauty Pore Diffusing Primer. I have the mini version, and they put a little bit of primer on their mixing plate. I don't have a mixing plate, but I'm gonna put it a little bit on my hand, and they use a flat brush to take a little bit of that primer and put it over the areas that contain a lot of pores. So for me, that's underneath my eyes and my forehead. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go in with a foundation, and I also wanna have a very thin layer of foundation. The foundation that I'm using and loving is the #1 Chanel foundation. I have the shade BD31. I have the same brush and the same method of application. Since I'm going for a natural look, I only pumped my foundation out once, and I'm using all of that to spread all over my face. If you find your foundation to be streaky, you can go in with a sponge or a foundation brush. Next, I go in with a color corrector, one that is salmon colored for underneath the eyes to knock out some of that under eye circle. I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury color corrector. They go in with a concealer brush. This should be a very thin layer. Then they go in with a concealer that should be one shade lighter than you. For my concealer, I'm using my Rose Ink Concealer and LX60. Then take the excess of your concealer and put it on top of your lid to knock out any of the color. Spot conceal any of your other problem areas. Then they suggest to go in with a powder. I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty powder in the shade Light. They use the translucent powder. This light version has a little bit of a pinky tone, but I'm still going to use it. And they use a small brush, and they start powdering the eyelid. Next, we're gonna go into eyes, and for this tutorial, I wanna be using the Wayne Goss Smoky Quartz Luxury Eye Palette. First, we're gonna go in with the first shade, the beautiful white one, and put it all over the lid. Start in the center. This creates a nice base for the makeup that's to come. Then we're gonna go in that second shade, that taupey shade in the middle. First, start out on the lash line, and then create a V shape. Then we're gonna go in this fourth shade right over here and create that same V shape, but then smaller. Then we're gonna go in with an eyeliner. I'm using my favorite brown liner by Victoria Beckham Beauty, but this time I'm using a little liner brush and coating my liner brush with it. Then start from underneath your lash line and create a tiny baby wing. Then I'm gonna go in with one of these flat brushes, and I'm gonna use this shade to blend out the edges of the liner. Then I'm gonna go back in with this beige or taupe shade and put it underneath my lash line. I'm gonna go in with that fourth shade and take that on the lower lash line but halfway. Then to finish it off, I'm going to go in with that beautiful celestial shade just a tiny little bit and put it in the center of my lid. Next, we're moving on to eyebrows, and I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty Brown Shape and Fill Duo. First, brush up my brow hairs. I'm using my ABH Brow Spoolie, and I'm first going to go in with that deeper shade, the one that's already been panned. Then when we get closer to the center, I'm going in with that lighter shade. Then next up, I'm applying this Kosas Airbrow Gel to gel my eyebrow hairs. Then I'm gonna curl my lashes and apply some mascara. Next up, I wanna go for contouring. I'm not gonna go into too much contour, but I wanna use a little bit of contour slash bronzer. And I wanna go in with my Nude Gasm Face palette. I'm gonna start out on the forehead and I'm gonna move in a 3. Next, I want to go into blush, and they suggest going into with a powder blush because that's better for on camera. So I'm going to go into this little blush over here, and this is the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Look of Love in a palette in Pretty Blush Beauty. I'm going to start on the apples of my cheeks and fan them out. And apply a tiny bit on the bridge of my nose. Then let's move on to highlighter. For this time, I'm going to be using the La Bouche Rouge highlighter. I love this highlighter. There's only one right now. I'm going to use a smaller brush to use this highlighter. Then for lips, I am going to go in with a lip liner, although they don't suggest it. I'm going to go in with Lip Cheat Iconic Nude by Charlotte Tilbury. And lipstick, I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty lipstick in Pose Queen. Then in the center, I'm going to put some gloss, and I love the Victoria Beckham Beauty gloss. This is in the clear shade Ice. Then I'm going to top it all off with setting spray by Charlotte Tilbury. And this is my natural day look. What do you guys think of the final look? Do you love it? Do you like it? To me, it's definitely very different than I'm used to. I try to follow along as the best way that I can. I did change some things up. For example, in the actual course, they kind of referred, or they told me that I could use, for example, black eyeliner, and I decided to go on brown just because I felt like I liked that a little bit better for me. And I, of course, have no idea how I'm going to be graded or critiqued. So I'm going to submit this one look, and I'm going to watch the video after this to do the nighttime look and elevate this to a nighttime look. But personally, I think the skin, for example, looks really nice. It was definitely a different technique that I'm usually using. First up, I am someone that fat fingers my makeup all the time, that I go in pretty hard with my foundation brush, with my powder brush, with my makeup brush, and they're quite dainty. They're using smaller brushes that I'm used to, and they're using a technique that's very soft. I go in with a ton of pigment on my eyes and just blend, but they really used a very soft technique, and I really feel like I could learn something from that and maybe elevate my makeup game a little bit. I think that maybe my brows are a bit too strong, but I wanted to try to follow the tutorial as much as possible. I also think that the makeup products work really well together. I love how, I guess, real it looks on my skin. I'm not that much in love with my eyeliner choice. I think that maybe I should have listened to the other modules a bit more, and because I have a hooded lid, I should have just stopped my eyeliner in the middle of my eye game and not go all the way over my eyes. So I kind of attached everything. I personally like going halfway a bit better, just because now I feel like my eyes are really more kind of closed, and my hood kind of goes over some of that beautiful eyeshadow work that I did. I also liked this Wayne Goss palette for this particular tutorial. I think this is a really great palette for every day. If you're someone that's looking for an everyday makeup palette, I think the Wayne Goss is really the way to go. I love the little puff of shimmer in the middle. I did very little, and it gives quite a bit of impact for how little that I used it. So still an ace palette in my opinion. I know it's a very boring palette, but this of course isn't a very exciting look. I could do everything, like my entire eye look, with that one palette. So I'm really happy with how the look turned out, and let me know in the comment section down below. Also let me know if you are interested in doing this course. I would love to hear your thoughts about, you know, doing an online makeup course. Like I said, I do have a discount code. It's Sonia Butler, $100 off. Use it if you are interested as well. Like I said, it's a lifetime that you have access to the course, so you don't have a deadline on when you have to finish it. I'm probably gonna finish this in like years. Finally, when I have time, like when my son finally went to school, that's when I'm gonna finish it. But here's the thing, I am going to finish it. I actually can't wait for seeing all the tips and tricks that they have up in store for me, and I hope that I can really elevate my YouTube game, because I was really insecure about my YouTube makeup application before I started. It's actually one of the reasons why I started YouTube so freaking late. I wanted to start in 2018, but I was just too insecure. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you liked any of the products that I use, because usually I do review makeup. And like the video if you liked anything about this video, if you learned anything about this video. Comment down below if you have any questions regarding the products that I use, or even the Online Makeup Academy. I'll try to answer the questions as much as possible, and I hope you guys all have a very beautiful and happy day. Bye!